It's early afternoon, Sunday, July 11th, and I just had some time before our services begin. And so um, today's lesson really spoke to me on a personal level, um, and it's through A Course in Miracles, and it can be practiced in different ways. And um, the Foundation for Inner Peace does start the lessons with the first day of the year, and today's lesson we're going to be doing together, Pastor Mercules and myself, and she's based in Las Vegas and I'm based here. She does have a long history in standing church with different forms, and myself, I'm solo, done a lot of missionary work and that sort of thing, and been a part of different churches. And so this is what I'm doing nowadays, is just video lessons or sharing with you, where things are with me and what's truly helpful, and that might be helpful to you. And so I've been doing a Teacher of God series based on a manual for teachers. But I'm opening today with today's lesson because I believe that it's really on time, more so than when I had done it in the past. And it might just be for me personally, but it might reach out to you as well. And so if you choose to, you can close your eyes or have them remain open, or if you find watching me as a distraction to see if this is the truth for you, then you could just, turn the camera away so you can hear the audio only. And so this is lesson 191. Let's see, take this up a bit. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. Herein your declaration of release from the bondage of the world, and here as well as all the world released. You do not see what you have done by giving to this world the role of jailer to the Son of God. What could it be but vicious and afraid, fearful of shadows, punitive and wild, lacking all reason, blind, insane with hate? What have you done that this should be your world? What have you done that this is what you see? Deny your own identity, and this is what remains. You look on chaos and proclaim it as yourself. It is yourself. There is no sight that fails to witness this to you. There is no sound that does not speak of the frailty within you and without. No breath you draw does it not seem to bring you nearer to death. No hope you hold, but will dissolve in tears. Deny your own identity, and you will not escape the madness which induced this weird, unnatural, and ghostly thought that mocks creation and that laughs at God. Deny your own identity, and you assail the universe alone, without a friend, a tiny particle of dust, against the legions of your enemies. Deny your own identity, and look on evil, sin, and death, and watch in despair snatch from your fingers every scrap of hope, leaving you nothing but the wish to die. Yet what is it except a game you play in which identity can be denied? You are as God created you. All else but this one thing is folly to believe. In this one thought is everyone set free. In this one truth are all illusions gone. In this one fact is sinlessness proclaimed to be forever part of everything, the central core of its existence, and its guarantee of immortality. But let today's idea find a place among your thoughts, and you have risen far above the world, and all worldly thoughts that hold it prisoner, and all this place of safety and escape you will return and set it free. For he who can accept his true identity is truly saved, and his salvation is the gift he gives to everyone. In gratitude to him who pointed out the way to happiness that changed his whole perspective of the world. One holy thought like this, and you are free. You are the Holy Son of God Himself, and with this holy thought you learn as well that you have freed the world. You have no need to use it cruelly, and then perceive this savage need in it. You set it free of your imprisonment. You will not see a devastating image of yourself walking in the world of terror, with the world twisting in agony because your fears have laid the mark of death upon its heart. Be glad today how very easily hell is undone. You need but tell yourself, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. I cannot suffer, cannot be in pain. I cannot suffer loss nor fail to do all that salvation asks. And in this thought is everything you look on wholly changed. A miracle has lighted up all the dark and ancient caverns where the rites of death echoed since time began. For time has lost its hold upon the world. The Son of God has come in glory to redeem the lost, to save the helpless, and to give the world the gift of His forgiveness. Who could see this world as dark and sinful when God's Son has come again at last to set it free? You who perceive yourself as weak and frail, with futile hopes and devastated dream, born to die, to weep and suffer pain, hear this. All power is given unto you in earth and heaven. There is nothing you cannot do. You play the game of death, of being helpless, pitiful, tied to dissolution of the world, which shows no mercy to you. Yet when you accord it mercy, its mercy will shine on you. Then let the Son of God awaken from his sleep, and opening his holy eyes, return again to bless the world he made. In error it began, but it will end in the reflection of his holiness, and he will sleep no more the dream of death. Then join with me today. Your glory is the light that saves the world. Do not withhold salvation longer. Look about the world and see the suffering there. Is not your heart willing to bring your weary brothers rest? They must await your own release. They stay in chains until you are free. They cannot see the mercy of the world until you find it in yourself. They suffer pain until you have denied its hold on you. They die until you accept your own eternal life. You are the Holy Son of God Himself. Remember this. All of the world is free. Remember this, and earth and heaven are one. So let's each take a moment and how the lessons in A Course in Miracles are suggested as upon awakening, and when you lay down at the end of the day, and as often as you can throughout the day. It would be taking an idea as an answer within your day, and this has been done in many forms, not just A Course in Miracles. If there is a Bible verse or a Quran or a Lakota prayer, song, throughout the day that you find to be encouraging, to where it resonates with you as truth to you, that can usher in peace and help change your perceptions to make the world a brighter, lighter place. The form of A Course in Miracles isn't necessary, but it does. It can usher and be truly helpful in changing perceptions. For myself, it has to remember who I really am. And so I'm just going to pause in between each of these statements. And again, the lesson is, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. And go from there, and then we'll talk about Manual for Teachers. Holy Spirit, help me to see things differently. Help me to see myself, this world, as it truly is, with your sight, with your perceptions. Help me to see anew and to remember who I am. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. I cannot suffer. I cannot be in pain. I cannot suffer loss, nor fail to do all that salvation asks. I am the holy child of God, in whom He is well pleased. Okay, and so as far as a manual for teachers, the next section was what are the characteristics of God's teachers? And here we go. The surface traits of God's teachers are not at all alike. They do not look alike to the body's eyes. They come from vastly different backgrounds. Their experiences of the world vary greatly, and their superficial personalities are quite distinct. Nor at the beginning stages of their functioning as teachers of God have they as yet acquired the deep characteristics that will establish them as what they are. God gives special gifts to His teachers because they have a special role in His plan for atonement. Their specialness is, of course, only temporary, set as time as a means of leading out of time. These special gifts, born in the holy relationship toward which the teacher-learner situation is geared, become characteristic of all teachers of God who have advanced in their own learning. In this respect, they are all alike. All difference among the sons of God are temporary. Nevertheless, in time it can be said that advanced teachers of God have the following characteristics. Trust. This is the foundation on which their ability to fulfill their function rests. Perception is the result of learning. In fact, perception is learning, because cause and effect are never separated. The teachers of God have trust in the world because they have learned it is not governed by the laws the world made up. It is governed by a power that is in them, but not of them. It is the power that keeps all things safe. It is through this power that the teachers of God will look on a forgiven world. When this power has once been experienced, it is impossible to trust one's own petty strength again. Who would attempt to fly with the tiny wings of a sparrow when the mighty power of an eagle has been given him? And who would place his faith in the shabby offerings of the ego when the gifts of God are laid before him? What is it that induces them to make this shift? So I only have my own personal experiences in life, as we each do, and in my belief, we are all teachers and students to one another. And when it talks about the strength, the power that comes from within, that's in alignment with our source, I have experienced that throughout life, since I was a child. Countless stories of touching, gentle moments where I knew there was nothing to fear, there was no doubt present, there was just a sense of not searching for answers, for relief, for an out, for solutions, for anything. That in the present moment, feeling connected with my Creator and with everything and everyone around me. Anytime that I have not had that awareness, which would be a whole seemingly stretch of longer times and durations, to not be in the space of awareness, to not feel connected, to not feel loved, to not feel that there were any answers or any hope, to feel that I was left alone in this place without any backing, without any assurance, and I do believe that this is a common experience for all of us, that even those that would consider themselves really close to God, have experienced these moments where it seemed that nothing was remotely, that it wasn't real, that it wasn't the truth at all. And when we see with our physical eyes, or hear with our ears, or speak with our mouths, and these words of hate and separation, thoughts of murder and destruction and lack and starvation, it would appear that isn't the truth, that there is no hope, that there is no answer or unlimited supply of love. And so trust is one of the first, characteristics that it mentions in a manual for teachers. And the other characteristics that follow kind of say, well, if you get the trust thing down, the others fall into place. And so just like, when people say, well, I can't trust people, that's true. We can't, we can't be trusted because, I could, what I think, have your best interest in heart, really think that what I'm going to say or do is truly helpful, and you may feel offended, betrayed, judged as what I perceive is, a loving, kind, thoughtful action. So I have an example where there was a woman who I just enjoyed fellowshipping with, some like-minded characteristics, and I had thought, I would really like to take her to lunch. And, she had a limited income and didn't seem to get out and about often. And I just really enjoyed her as a friend. It added to my day, that sort of thing. And I just wanted to give her a special treat. So we went to the restaurant, and she seemingly enjoyed herself, and so did I. And then we parted. Now, prior to this, we spent, pretty often together. Saw each other a couple, 2-3 times a week, that sort of thing. Sometimes in my home, sometimes in hers. But after this lunch, she fell off the grid. Wouldn't return calls, and things like that. And so I thought, okay, what did I do now? It seems that I can't keep or maintain any close relationships. And so I kept trying to contact, and then, she doesn't want to talk to me for some reason, and I can't address it or change it if I have hurt her somehow or done something, if she won't even tell me what's been done. So quite a bit of time passed. I'm not sure how long, but it seems that at least a year or just under a year. And she called me and said she was delighted that she had come across some extra money, an extra check of some kind, and would really like to take me out to lunch. And I thought, what a delight, I get to see my friend again. and maybe can see what happened. What did I find out? And so when we met, I spoke to her about how I didn't understand, what had happened. And the thing is it didn't make her feel good at all. She felt that she could not meet me on equal grounds. She felt that ashamed that she didn't have the extra money to go to lunch, or to save it to take me, or that sort of thing. And so she, felt embarrassed, and of course this was not anything that were my intentions, and so again, if I put you on a pedestal and think you have the answers for me, you'll fall off and you can't be trusted. And same thing goes for me. The only thing we can absolutely trust is our own experiences, even if they don't bring us peace. If there are experiences, they're real enough to us, and that is what we have built our lives and our beliefs and our limitations and things on. And so, as teachers of God, is it like I wake up each day and say that that's what I am? Yes and no, but I do want a closer relationship with my source, a getting to know, on a different level maybe, but my need to tell people what they ought to be doing, or give unsolicited advice, or tell you what form you should pray, or a way that you should go about things, has really diminished. There's hardly any of that left in me, because I am starting to trust my own best answers, my own path, and yours. That you're exactly where you are, by choice, by need, by design, in a teaching or a learning situation that you have chosen. You are empowered to change at any time if it is causing you suffering, pain, and that sort of thing. But that's your journey. And so now it's more of an interchange of ideas. And when I do these videos, I'm building up my spiritual muscle and beliefs within myself and my source, and to establish what is true and what isn't, and what can bring me more peace in my days. And so with each opportunity that we have, we can practice ways to go about within each day, to removing blocks between ourselves and whatever we feel our source is. And there are those that say that there is no source, that this is the one and only show that we get, and we're out of here, and then there's nothing. And I don't know if I believe them, because anybody that has said they were agnostic, atheist, or profess to, there is no God, but there's certainly Satan, there's certainly darkness, and that seems powerful enough to me. I think I'll follow that. And yeah, no matter what path each of those individuals has been on, the discussion usually comes to that, my daughter said it best, that we all have our experiences, but in reality we don't know 100% what this experience is about, what comes after this experience. Is this experience real? Is it illusory? Is it, everybody has their beliefs according to their experience, but there is that element of I don't know. And that element is also a great element for a teacher or learner, in that I don't know, I remain teachable. I don't know brings less of me and my opinions and ideas and beliefs and hang-ups and blockages, and more of what is universal, that connects us all, that we all can agree, a common language, and that a connection that can't be broken, the essence of love, a surety, and those sort of things. And so removing blocks and between myself and Creator, removing blocks between myself and my brother. So in recent years, there has been no trust on my part. And when I had no trust in my source, in myself, in my own higher being, I've behaved and acted in ways that I were unexpected to me, or that I really thought I was over. Enraged, a lot of yelling's gone on, a lot of crying's gone on, a lot of confrontation, and it showed up in my health, mental, physical, and spiritual health, because, again, I felt that really God of my misunderstanding wasn't doing a well enough job. And in fear and in anger, I went to the tools of the world, the tools that I thought that I could employ. And part of that was protecting and serving others. And, that included like martial arts, law enforcement background, those sort of things. And of course, none of us as fellow people can assure anyone 100% safety when it comes to the body. It just doesn't happen. I don't care how many fences and security systems and cautions. Same thing with a child. Protect the child, protect the child. And for anyone to say that they could protect a child's body or their thoughts from harm is caught up in the world. It just can't occur. It's an impossibility. It can, if there's 24-hour watch, a kid can trip and bruise their knee. If there's a 24-hour watch, a person can be harmed. The security systems can be broken into, things of that nature. Or no one can come in and they pass from a heart attack. And so the idea that I had that I could keep anyone safe is ludicrous. And also, it's about everything I've experienced here has been, in a worldly sense, beyond devastation. The most horrid, painful things have occurred, and the things I've seen and experienced have been horrifying. And the characters that I've come across, seemingly dark, no God in it, laughing at God, loving to hurt other human beings, employed in hurting other human beings, not being come to justice by hurting or causing other human beings to disappear in the physical. And so it would be like hell, a nightmare, an impossible situation to combat, or especially alone, not having the troops or the necessary equipment. But even that, doesn't matter how many people I would have by my side, like when I was in the service people were still killed. Members were still harmed. Peoples in the countries that we were with, still, had sufferings, things like that. And so we cannot keep each other's bodies safe. This is not something we can do. And so Course in Miracles talks, a lot about that, this, what seemingly is solid and real, is not. And that no matter what you do to a body, rape it, murder it, cover it up with dirt, that nothing has changed. So our spirit, if you will, or our eternal being, cannot be harmed. Light cannot be extinguished. Peace cannot be destroyed. But what our eyes tell us the exact opposite. Our ears, our physical senses tell us that there is that's the only truth that there is. And then there will be scientists that line up with the idea that my physical being, this table, this book, it is not solid and is made up of space and energies. They've recorded these energies. They recorded that things are all connected. But again, we go back to a seeming default of I got to pay a phone bill. I gotta get my groceries. I gotta walk my dog. I gotta, and there will never be enough time, and that sort of thing. And so there's different. I've met a lot of Buddhists, and I like their practice of daily life because it's not that we sit around on a mountaintop, and never do anything again. It's from the space of love, from the space of connection, that things in the world that seem needing done are done with less effort or no effort seemingly. And then I'll look around the house and go, oh, it's all done. But the thing that I guess most of us are used to is looking around our surroundings, saying, okay, I need to work on that and do this and do that, and then after this I got to go and do this and undo that and make this phone call, and to get caught up in the details of the unreal, of every little finite thing that needs to be accomplished, and then put total reliance on those finance things. If I don't get this paper filled out, I will not get the funding I need. If I don't make this phone call, my bill, my electric will be shut off, or whatever fears that we have within this world. If I don't talk to my cousin, it's not going to go well, or we just rely totally on ourselves and our finite bodies to accomplish all these tasks, and no matter how brilliant and intelligent in a worldly way we are, doesn't matter what degrees, what vast knowledge we think that we have, it's just not a long-standing solution that'll bring, joy, a life-giving force. And so each day I get an opportunity to take each moment, each person I come across, each opportunity to see it differently, to choose again, to remember who I am and who they are, to take my brother off the cross and